Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm Margaret Polly, the culinary nutritionist for the UAMS Culinary Medicine Program. I love to cook because I love to eat. I also enjoy teaching people how to cook in a healthy but tasty manner. It wasn't always like this for me. Before I was a dietitian, I ate more fast food meals in a week than I could count on two hands. Eventually, I learned some of the tips that I'm going to pass on to you today. Somewhere along the way, we got lost when it came to cooking. The drive-thru became our salvation for busy days. Then it became an unhealthy habit. I'd like to help you change that habit to a healthy habit by showing you how to stock your pantry so you'll turn to it instead of to the drive-thru. Use my Healthy Pantry handout to build your healthy pantry, fridge, and freezer. Here are some of the tips. Buy canned goods without added salt or seasonings whenever possible. Also, stock up on frozen vegetables without sauces and seasonings. They can be made into a quick soup, a stir fry, or even roasted. Canned and frozen vegetables are healthy and full of vitamins and minerals. Stock up on 100% whole wheat pasta. Thinner is less chewy, just a tip. Brown rice and other whole grains. Many of these come already parboiled and pre-cooked. Think Trader Joe's, Target, or even the freezer section of Kroger and Walmart. And these will save time. Keep the whole grain bread in your fridge or freezer and take out what you need. You'll end up throwing less out. Buy pre-chopped vegetables, chopped garlic, dehydrated onions, garlic powder, dried herbs. These are all time savers in the kitchen. Frozen fruits don't go bad and can be made into a simple dessert, pancake or waffle toppers, or even smoothies. Hard cheeses last longer than soft, and you can use less of them because they tend to have a stronger taste. Think, like Parmesan. Look for tomato-based sauces with low sodium for pizza and spaghetti toppings. Eggs are a great source of protein and make a quick meal in scrambles or omelets. Beans are also a great source of protein and can be used in soups, salads, hummus, or grain bowls. Get those appliances out and make them work for you. Slow cookers, Instapots, blenders, food processors, rice cookers, and air fryers. There's no need to stand over a hot stove for hours these days. Truly, we are only limited by our imagination when we think of making meals from our pantry. When you have a meal you like, write it down and put it into your rotation. Now we're going to make a one-pot pantry chili. And this recipe is so easy, it's hard to believe because it tastes so good. All right, usually some things that come together quickly are like, not so good, but this is delicious. And I call this the dump cake of chilies because we are taking pantry items and also something from the freezer, and we're going to make this delicious chili that takes, prep time is only a few minutes, but the rest of the time is on the stove, and you don't even have to stir it even. So what we're gonna do first is we're just gonna chop up a piece of garlic. Now you could also use the garlic that's already in a jar, or I just tend to have this on hand. You could also use garlic powder. Think about it. Unless you've got it coming from your garden, the frozen aisle and the canned food aisle is probably your better bet, because those things are picked at the peak of ripeness and then immediately put into a can or into a bag. Now, with the frozen foods, generally they don't have any added salt. They will put a little salt in sometimes a lot of salt in some of these other items. So the thing you can do is to buy no salt added or low salt or low sodium, say that on the label. Or you can, along with that, just drain it and then rinse it under water, and it will help to take care of that salt. So we're gonna put our pan on about medium-high right now. And for a change, we're not having any oil. There's no oil in this whatsoever. So we're just gonna take all these ingredients, which are 2 cans of any kind of beans you like. I like pinto beans and black beans. We've got an 11-ounce can of corn. You could always use frozen if you like. We've got some spices here. It's along with the minced garlic. We've got some onion powder. I used onion powder because I didn't have the dried onion. You could use fresh onion, certainly. It's going to cook down in there without sauteing. You also have some chili powder, ground cumin, and dried oregano. That's it. So I'm going to first start with the tomatoes, and this is a no-salt tomato. These are the petite dice. This is a very, very, very versatile recipe. So if you want those fire roasted tomatoes or even rotel, just it depends on how spicy you like things, okay? Then we're going to put in the 2 cans of beans that have been, drained and rinsed. Then we throw in that corn. We also have like a cup of water. And I'm going to throw that garlic in. And then I'm going to put my spice mixture in. And so now we're going to stir that up and mix it, and it's so colorful. And it smells like chili already. And then I'm going to throw in some cut green beans, and you could use fresh here certainly, but the frozen, this is not a typical ingredient in chili, but what's so nice about it is it adds some nice crunch, and you're getting a non-starchy vegetable in there. Very low calorie, and adds some color. Has a whole grain with the corn. I know a lot of people think that is a starchy vegetable, but it's actually a whole grain. And we've got the beans, which is your protein, and then you've got the tomatoes and the green beans, which are your non-starchy vegetables, and no added salt. Win-win, right? So we'll let that cook. It's hands-off. You could also cook that in an Instapot. You could cook it in a crock pot. It'll be ready for you when you get home. So I'd like to also share with you that it can be used in different ways. You could eat it like this, of course. You could, you could make a soup out of it by adding a little bit more water or broth. I'd probably add some vegetable broth in there. And you could also put it into a taco, like this. Use a corn tortilla. And then you would just drain off some of that juice and put it in here. You could also make a burrito. And this is a whole grain tortilla shell, okay? And you would just, again, drain it, put it in the middle, put your favorite toppings like some cheese, maybe a little brown rice, and then just roll it up. The other thing you could do is top this with some avocado, maybe a little bit of Greek yogurt, or maybe a low-fat sour cream. I'm telling you, this recipe is so versatile. You can do whatever you want with it. It also freezes really well. And this is a perfect meal to maybe take in your meal prep if you do that, or to serve a crowd. It's delicious. So I hope you like it. Thank you. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the recipes, and if you're interested in more healthy recipes, go to the website listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you.